Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Again, my name is Nick Palmer, owner and broker of Valor Mortgage. And today we're talking about MPR waivers or minimum property requirement waivers on a VA loan. So like FHA, the VA has what's called minimum property requirements. Really at the end of the day, the VA wants to ensure that the property that the veteran is purchasing is safe as far as occupancy standards, structurally sound as far as construction, and then sanitary, working sewer, water, electrical, so on and so forth. And really the goal here for the VA is just to ensure that the veteran and their family or their family can occupy this property after close of escrow and not have to make a substantial amount of repairs to the property. And obviously that this property is working properly so they can enjoy the home itself. Now, there is a huge misconception out there, just kind of, I think it's worse than FHA for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but it's, a lot of agents have this misconception of like, well, if you accept a VA offer, you're going to have repairs. You're going to have to repair them. They're a lot stricter than FHA, so on and so forth, right? I'm not going to lie. FHA and VA are strict in the fact that the appraisers do visually look for safety, structurally sound, or sanitary issues. Now, they're not supposed to inspect the home. A lot of people like to call it a mini inspection, but really, I know I'm cutting hairs here, but the VA does instruct the appraisers to not inspect the home as far as, the HVAC, the electrical, and all of that. But the appraisers are supposed to visually note any items they see that could be subject to as far as or repair items or not qualifying the property meeting the NPR standards. Now, I would say 10 out of 10 times, well, 9.9% out of 10 times, those repair items that appraisers are going to note are going to be cosmetic, deferred maintenance, normal wear and tear. And again, the VA is instructing the appraisers to not note items that are of cosmetic repair, normal wear and tear, deferred maintenance, or anything that's inconsequential to the condition of the property. And really that's really what I want to drive home is that the VA is focused on the condition of the property as far as a safety, structurally sound, and sanitary condition. That's really what they're looking at. So what the VA has put in place, unlike FHA, the VA has put in place what's called NPR waivers or minimum property requirement waivers. So if an appraiser does note those repair items that fall under the buckets of cosmetic repair, deferred maintenance, whatever have you, you can actually request an NPR waiver saying, to the VA. And basically it's this, is that you request a waiver as far as those repair items. The VA is going to reach out to me as the mortgage broker or your loan officer, whoever you're working with, and simply ask, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Loan Officer, mortgage broker, want to make sure that these repair items that you're requesting waivers on do not affect the safety, structurally sound, or sanitary condition of the property. Do you concur? Yes, I concur. And that, I'm obviously oversimplifying it, but that is the process of getting what's called an NPR waiver. And so how does it benefit you? How does it set the VA apart? Well, simply because the normal repairs that I constantly see or what people talk about, those are items that you can actually request NPR waivers. And what does that mean? You get an appraisal, it has repair items, you can get a waiver, you don't have to repair those items anymore, you can move on with the transaction, get to your close of escrow date and be a new homeowner, and then that seller can move on and do what they need to do. So that is the power that the VA has given veterans and also agents and loan officers to help move forward the transaction and get to that close of escrow as far as obtaining those NPR waivers. Now, there was an extreme case. I have it posted on one of my shorts, but there is an extreme case that I really want to point out and how really powerful this is. So if you have a separate unit on the property, A lot of times like a shed or whatever, a tack room, whatever it is, right? And that property, which is totally separate from the main unit, does not meet NPR regulations, right? Dilapidated, roof is bad, this, that, whatever it is. You can actually request an NPR waiver to waive the repair items on that separate unit. And so you don't have to take care of that. You don't have to do anything. But here's the catch. If the value of the property includes that structure and you get an NPR waiver on that structure, whatever that value is, it's actually going to come out of the appraisal. So let's, for simple math, if the property appraised for 200,000 and that included the land, the main unit, and the additional structure that did not meet the requirements, and let's just say that that structure was a $2,000 value. What did I say? 200,000. So that structure was a $200,000 value. If you got an NPR waiver on that structure, as far as all the repairs, you would actually take that $2,000 off of the value. So you'd be left $198,000. Again, that is a bigger conversation that as your loan officer or mortgage broker is going to have with your agents. Really just having the conversation up front, setting the expectations, whatever it is, right? I think that is a very, very important part in our business, is that if I have a client that is using a VA loan and is putting a offer on a property, I'm always trying to educate and to share my experiences with all parties involved. And so if there is something like this, and we know about it, I'm going to have that conversation, or at least try to have that conversation ahead of time. So if it does come up, we've already had that conversation. We've already looked at it. But nevertheless, really the point that I want to make here is that unlike FHA, the VA allows for minimum property requirement waivers as long as those repair items do not or are not related to the safety, structurally sound, and sanitary condition of the property, which is super awesome because it allows you to just move forward with the transaction. The seller, the buyer, you don't have to spend any more time, money, or whatever getting those repairs done with that. So, all right, guys, that's NPR waivers. Hope you found this information valuable. Again, if you found this information valuable, please like and subscribe to my channel weekly, trying to bring you information about not only VA loans, but obviously mortgage financing, little tidbits as far as what I use to help my clients or to help them get them on the path to homeownership. All right, you guys have a good one. Talk to you soon.